Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't often do tags and nobody tagged me, but I do get often asked questions about my ethnicity, where I'm from, what religion I am, and yada yada yada. I don't personally find myself that fascinating, but hey, I guess you as my subscribers and viewers want to know a little bit more about my background, so I thought that I would also take part in the Desi stroke ethnicity tag. Number one, I hate the term Desi. I've never liked it. When people are like, oh, I'm so happy I found a Desi blogger, I'm like, that's my face. I am probably one of the most un-Asian Asians you will ever come across. I'm born and bred in London. I'm not English, but I am definitely British, and I am as British Asian as they come, to the point where I only ever really generally speak English. But that's just how I am. So you know what, I've had a look online, and I think that I've got the right questions in front of me. I am going to be brutally honest, because there'll be certain things that I'm just not Desi enough for, I suppose. So the first question is, what is your name and what does it mean? Right, so my name is, obviously, as the channel suggests, it's Charlena, not Shalina. Charlena. I get so tired of correcting people. They read my name and they say Shalena, and I'm just like, it's spelled S-H-A-H. It's Shah. How do you get Charlena from it? Anyway, so my name is Charlena. It's actually two names put together, Shah and Lena. Shah means king. Lena, it depends, I suppose, what country you come from, what culture, what language you speak. There's a variety of different meanings for it. But according to my dad, God love him, he said it's Lena as in princess or queen. And I was like, all right, Dad, like, I don't know if I actually believe him. To this day, I don't know if I believe him. So he's like, that's why you were called Charlena, King's Lady, that sort of thing, something like that. And it was actually my granddad who named me. And my name is so unique that if you were to type it into Google, I would be the only one that would show up. My name is literally a very, very special and unique name that was put together by love by my granddad. And my granddad is actually from Pakistan, but he's not Pakistan. Oh, it's complicated. Anyway, so that is the background to my name. And my surname being Khan, which is the most common Muslim surname in the world, and it means leader. So clearly, Charlena Khan is a very prestigious name to have, apparently. All right, so next one. Where is your family from and when did they emigrate? So obviously, I'm not English, but I'm born in London. So it can be very complicated and confusing about where my family come from. Number one, for those of you who are from the Asian subcontinent, you are fully aware of the partition. It's actually, what is it, the 70-year anniversary of the partition is coming up this year. And I am actually going to go and see the Viceroy's, that film, The Viceroy's something. Apparently it's a big lie. The film is a lie, and it's very much paints Muslims in a very bad light, unsurprisingly. And it was obviously not made by a Muslim. Let's just make it clear. Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs all caused problems, and it was all as a result of the British. So no matter what you may see in that film, I'm literally going to go see it out of curiosity. That is the fact. And as a result of that, it can be very confusing to figure out where exactly my family come from. So let's start with my mum's side. My mum is actually born in Nairobi in Kenya, and she was born when Kenya was under British rule. Big surprise, Britain bloody took over the whole world. And that is why she was born with a British passport, which is why she was easily able to come over here to England. But her parents are Indian. She's actually Indian, but born in Africa. And her family come from India. My mum's background is actually Sikh. She was a Sikh when she met my dad, and then she converted to Islam. A very nice example of a couple that marry for love, regardless of religion or country or race or anything like that. That's why my parents are my number one role models when it comes to relationships. Just celebrated their 36-year wedding anniversary the other day. They were both sick in bed, both forgot, but that's love for you in sickness and in health. So that's my mum's slight bit of my mum's background. Now my dad's is a little bit more complicated. If you saw my dad, he's very, very fair skinned. He almost looks Mediterranean. He's born in Pakistan, and my grandparents, so my granddad, who is actually still around, he's 94 years young, bless him, lives in Canada now, and he is born in Afghanistan, but his dad is from Iran, or his dad's from Iran. but he moved to Pakistan and set up family there. And my grandma, I think, is from the Indian side before the partition, and then she had to move over to Pakistan. See what I mean when I say confusing? So basically, I just call myself South Asian. That's it. And if anyone asks where my mum's from, yeah, she's an Indian African. Even though she's not an indigenous African, but she can speak fluent Swahili. So, all right, next. How many languages can you speak? Say one sentence in each. Oh dear. All right. When I was little and my mum was teaching me obviously to speak, I am the oldest in my house, the oldest out of two, and she used to teach me Urdu. Urdu was my first language. That is the official language of Pakistan. She taught me how to speak Urdu. Then she sent me off to nursery. They sent me back saying, she's asking us for food, we think. No surprises there. I'm always asking for food. And but we don't know what she's saying. So you need to teach her English and send her back. So my mum obviously brought me back home, started teaching me English, and then sent me back to nursery so that I could actually communicate with people. And ever since then, I've only mostly spoken English at home. Both my parents are fully educated. They were both teachers at one point. They're both fluent in English. They actually speak English better than a lot of people born and raised in this country and whose only language is English. So I have always had parents who've always spoken to me in English. However, my parents speak to me in Urdu and I normally reply in English, because my Urdu is so appalling. It's one of those languages that if you don't exercise it oftenly, that's not even an English word, what the hell? If you don't exercise it often, you're going to forget. And that's exactly kind of how it is for me. So if somebody was to speak Urdu to me, I would understand every single word that they said. But in order to reply to them, it'd be broken, sounds dodge, and has English thrown in there. And the same is with Punjabi as well, because my family speak fluent Punjabi. My mom, obviously being from a Sikh Indian background, fluent in Punjabi. But a lot of people in Pakistan also speak Punjabi as well as Urdu, which includes my dad and my dad's family as well. So they all speak fluent Punjabi. And if they were to speak that language back to me, I would understand it and reply in English again. And the difference, some people are thinking, what's the difference between Punjabi and Urdu? They sound pretty much the same. The only difference is, to me, Punjabi's always been the very aggressive sounding version of Urdu. It's like Russian. It sounds so aggressive, but all the person saying is, how was your day today? And instead it sounds like someone's yelling at you. And it's exactly the same with Punjabi. So let me think of something to say in Urdu. Please don't laugh at me, and please don't try to correct me either, because that will just annoy me, because I know that my linguistic skills are not that great. So let me see. Mujhe bhook lagi hai. Aap mere liye khana paka rahe ho? That was so rubbish. I just said, I'm hungry. Are you making me food? And in Punjabi, it would be manu bhook lagi hai. Manu bhook lagi hai, tusi khana pakane ho? See what I mean? Rubbish. Okay, and I also know random Swahili words, because obviously when my parents speak to me, they speak in a mixture of Urdu, Punjabi, Swahili, and I didn't know this. It was only when I went to somebody's house once and I needed the iron, and I said to them, can I please have the basi? And they just kind of looked at me. And they were like, the what now? I was like, the basi, the iron. And they were like, the istri. And I was like, yeah, the istri. What did I say? And they said, the basi. What kind of word is basi? And I started to ask my mum. My mum's like, basi means iron in Swahili. Istri is in Urdu. And I was like, you lot have taught me some sort of mixed multi-language. So there are random words that I also know in Swahili, not realizing that they are Swahili words. I didn't do too well in German, but I can get past in German. Guten Tag, guten Abend, you know, bitte. And I do apologise for that screaming. That's my beloved niece next door. She's 3 and loud. She's just playing. Oh my God. All right, next. What is a must-see place for you in South Asia? I've never actually been to India. I'd love to go to India, especially to see all the temples. Obviously, the Taj Mahal. Who wouldn't want to go and see that? I'd love to see it. Tips for smart street shopping in South Asia. Well, I've only ever been to South Asia once and I was a child, but let's just say it's no different to over here in London and going to Southall and knowing how to haggle. And haggle and haggle and haggle. My dad is no good at haggling. My mum is excellent at haggling. So whenever I've needed to go and buy any kind of outfits or things like that from South Asian shops, I take her with me. She managed to last time knock off like 100 quid off of my outfit. I still don't know how she did it. Me, I would just be no good. So don't ever ask me to help you, because I would probably break out in English anyway and show myself to be a foreigner. What is your favourite Desi movie and why? I actually don't watch that many Bollywood films anymore. I kind of got a bit put off. They started to become very Western to me. Like, they tried to be a bit too Hollywood. So I like, or I used to like, a lot of the older movies, like Sholay. I love Sholay, such a classic. A lot of the old Amitabh Bachchan films, Amar Akbar, Anthony, Ram Lakhan, used to love Anil Kapoor. So a lot of the older movies, especially from the late 80s, early 90s as well. Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. That was a classic film. 1942, A Love Story. Is that what it was called? I think. Loved that film. If you were given the chance to be in a Bollywood movie, which actor or actress would you want in it? Madhuri Dixit. Classic, beautiful, elegant, amazing actress, dancer, all of those things. What would your dream wedding be like? What's that got to do with being a Desi? Lots of dolls. I love the doll. Yeah, you know the sound. I just love it. Every time I hear it, I'm like, I feel like dancing. Yeah, but I'm not that good at dancing either. Not Desi dancing anyway, Western dancing. So my dream wedding would be all my family and friends, and that's it. None of these typical Indian weddings of 1,000 people where you don't even know anybody and it's all about showing off how much money you got. At the end of the day, marriage to me is about marrying somebody for love. So whether you got 2 people there, it shouldn't really make a difference. My parents' wedding, they married for love. They had 10 people, something like that. My mum wore some funny sari which she threw in the bin. She's not very sentimental. And 36 years later, like I said, still happily married and in love. What would a party at your place be like? What's this again got to do with this here? I don't understand. A party at my place, you'd be well fed. That would be the most important thing. To me, any party or any wedding is all about the food. Nobody cares what she wore, what he wore, whatever. Whenever people go away from a party, it's always, was the food good? Was the food good? No? That is the only thing people remember. So you will be very well fed. First thing that comes to your mind when you hear Desi food. Ugh, I hate that word. Biryani, I suppose. That's like the classic, easy thing. My mum's a Punjabi. She makes Punjabi food. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of these things, especially in this country, chicken tikka masala, I know that a lot of people won't realise this. These are not Indian dishes. We don't make these dishes. These are English dishes which have been made to, or turned into sounding like Indian food to make English people think that you are eating Indian food. If you want proper Indian food, come to an Indian person's house. Favourite Desi clothing designer? Clearly, I don't have one. Most of my clothes, my Indian clothes, to be fair, are handmade. I go and pick the material and then I have a design that I've seen online. I show it to one of the clothes people that are normally lurking around some little corner of Southall, and I let them measure me and say, make me this. That's what I do. That's why a lot of my clothes are actually bespoke. I prefer to have them handmade. And it doesn't actually cost a lot of money, because if the materials cost you something like £40 and it's cost like £80 for labour, that's it. And you've got a brand new, sparkling, personalised Asian outfit. Favourite street or market shop? Southall, because it's near my house as well. I don't really like Green Street, and that's in East London, for obviously those of you that are outside London. I find Green Street quite limiting in a lot of the clothes and clothes shops. I find Southall's got a lot more. So that's why I generally prefer to go there. Favourite thing about Desi weddings? The food. How many times was I going to say it? Food. Food. I'm all about the food. Food, food, food. I'm a proper foodie person. I mean, the last Desi wedding I went to, obviously you guys remember I filmed Get Ready With Me when I was on my way to my cousin's wedding. Yeah, again, it was all about the food and hanging out with your family. I mean, my family are hilarious. I love all my family. We have such a laugh. Everyone's such good fun. Everyone gets along with each other. So for me, it was actually really good to spend time with a lot of my family members that I've not seen for a while. That's one of my favourite things about Desi weddings. One of my non-favourite things about Desi weddings. But I will tell you what my least favourite things about Desi weddings are. The aunties trying to hook you up with their sons. Like, seriously, this is something I will never ever get used to. The last time I was at the wedding, I don't know how many people must have gone whispering to one of my aunts, oh, you see her over there? Oh, you know, I have a son. Why do they do this? Why is it even considered appropriate? I don't understand. It's just like, yeah, okay, So I'm there with my family, having a laugh. I'm not there to be looking for a husband. I'm there because somebody I know is getting married. I don't understand how they have the bravery. This is one of the things I hate about Desi weddings. I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but every Desi wedding I've ever been to, it's been like this. Oh, you have a daughter? I have a son. So what? Favourite Desi song? Sorry, don't have one. Favourite Bollywood celebrity? I love Amir Khan. He's always been around in Bollywood films for like the past 20 odd years. I mean, ever since I was a kid, he's always been around. And not just is he a really good actor, as a philanthropist and helps the poor and does so much for charity work, and he does so much other things other than just being a actor. And I've got a lot of respect for somebody like him, so I would definitely say that he's probably my favourite Bollywood celebrity. My least favourite celebrity, Salman Khan. I can't stand him. Number one, what's he done to his hair? Can't you go bald gracefully? I know lots of men that have lost their hair, but they've done it gracefully. He tried to overcompensate, but obviously bulking himself up, so he just looks like a little Incredible Hulk now. And then let's not forget him running over and killing somebody homeless and then getting away with it. I have no respect for people like that at all. So, oh no, that was the last question, and I feel like I finished it on a really bad note. So, sorry about that. What else can I say about being a Desi? I like Thai food. That's my favourite food. See what I mean when I say I'm the most un-Desi you will ever come across? I can't help it. It's just I'm born in London. I'm surrounded by cultures from here, there, and religions from all over the place that I've never really kind of pigeonholed myself into one area. Don't get me wrong, there are aspects of my culture which I absolutely love and carry through in my day-to-day life and that sort of thing, but I am born and bred London, born and bred Great Britain, and that is where and how I will always be. I've been to Pakistan once. I went there when I was 8 years old. It was, I mean, obviously I was very young, but I remember the trip completely because of how different everything was to me. I mean, and I didn't even stay in the city. I stayed in the mountains. The mountains. So there was no flushing toilet. There was a hole in the ground which had frogs in it. I got eaten alive by mosquitoes. I saw widespread corruption, police officers exchanging money, people asking us for money so we could go down a road. I was quite sick when I was out there as well. But it was definitely the kind of trip for me that has actually stuck in my memory over 20 years later. I remember so much about it, but I remember the beautiful green countrysides, the mountains with the smoke rising every morning. I would definitely love to go back as an adult. Not sure if I'd go back to that village, because that's a family village of ours that we have very high up towards the Khyber Pass. It's not right near the Khyber Pass, but it's on the way up there in the mountains. And I've got a lot of family in Islamabad, in Lahore, Wazirabad, where my dad's from as well. And I'd like to actually go back as an adult now. I'd probably have a very different experience as well. The reason I went there at the time is because my grandma unfortunately had passed away and we had to go there ASAP, obviously. So that's it. So that's my Desi ethnicity tag. I'm sure many of you will be hideously disappointed and just be like, yeah, she's just brown. Her skin's just brown. And that's it. That's as brown as she gets. So that's just me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you all soon. Bye.